Hello, doing a little check-in with Macbeth. I don't know. A lot of the other check-ins I've done with this have been kind of reading kind of sections of the great language of Shakespeare. This is more of a gripe session. It is Act 4, Scene 3, mostly between Malcolm and Macduff, with Ross Ross coming in. Um, Rossi coming in at the end to deliver the bad news. Um, uh, it's like up until this point in the play, we've been pretty much centered in Scotland, and a lot like with Macbeth and with Lady Macbeth. The scene before this, we've had Lady Macduff and the fate of Lady Macduff. Basically, people come to her, warn her, you need to get out of town because your husband has fled without you or your children, and trouble's coming for you. And indeed, by the end of the scene, the murderers have come in. They've stabbed to death. They stabbed to death his little son, and they've rushed off stage pursuing a Lady Macduff, undoubtedly to kill her. And then we get to the scene of Malcolm and Macduff. Malcolm being the son of the slain King Duncan, I think, Scottish King Duncan that Macbeth has butchered. Yes, King of Scotland that Macbeth has killed, and Malcolm is one of his sons and has fled to England and is has gained support there, and we learn throughout this thing that he's gaining soldiers and stuff like that, and Macduff is one of the nobles who is also, well, as we see in the last scene, he's fled abroad, because he's worried, leaving his wife and child and all his holdings there to be killed. And these dudes, for this long hunk of section here, gas on. I have to say, like, if this was a play, you would think you would rapidly compress a lot of this stuff, because we have them just going on and on. A lot of the stuff is like, there's Malcolm is very much like, with this there grows in me a most ill-composed affection, such a staunchless avarice, that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and other house, and my more having would be a sauce to make me hunger more, and I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for their wealth. So, this is the guy who's fled because his own father has been killed because of somebody's greed, who seems to be confessing his own kind of greed and avarice. And Macduff, this avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear, Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable, with other graces weighed. So we just have this long section of that, but we end up with Rossi coming in, and he's got the bad news. Except he's one of these really annoying characters who says, like, how is like Macduff's going, like, how are my wife and kids? And he's like, they're what does he say? Yeah, yeah. Relation. It's like, where does he put it? Because it's one of the things that gets stretched out to horrific things of yeah. Oh yes, Macduff, how does my wife? Rossi, why, well, and my children, well too. The tyrant hath not battered at their peace. Rossi, no, they were well at peace when I did leave them. It's like, oh yeah, they're completely at peace, because no, it's like, finally Macduff is like, after many lines, is like, if it be mine, keep it not from me, quickly let me have it. Let your ears not despise my tongue forever, which shall pose them with such the heaviest sound that they ever yet heard. And it's like, huh, I guess at it. And Ross, finally! Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate that manner, were it on the quarry of these murders dear, to add the death of you. It's like, finally, after like a good hunk of dialogue, we get to, oh, your wife and children have been savagely slaughtered. But we continue on in what is this like the most black comedy? You know, it's like, Macduff, and my children too? Wife, children, servants, all that could be found. And I must from hence, my wife too, I have said. Be comforted. Let me make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief. He has no children. All my pretty ones, did you say? All? Oh, hell kite, all? That my pretty children and their dam at one fell swoop. Dispute it like a man, says Malcolm. So it's like, take it like a man, I guess. Just like, it's one of these kind of like long passages of Shakespeare, which, yes, we're getting over stuff. We're getting that they're going to advance on Duncan Wood. That they have this little section in here where it seems like it's a suck up to the king, where this, I have none. The king becoming I have none. The king becoming graces of justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, preference, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the divisions of each several crimes, acting in it many ways. Nay, I power. I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth. O Scotland, if such be one to fit to govern, speak, as I am as I have spoken. Fit to govern? And yeah, we just have this weird section where he's just like how crappy he is. I think there is actually some reference in here to, the pious Edward King, but I can't find it. Yeah, just like an odd, frustrating section for me. In this play I was talking about how lean it is. This seems to be a section where just something like, bleh. We've pulled away from the action. We're out of Scotland. We have these guys talking. We have this almost like dark black comedy where someone rushes in and says, and it's like, oh, is my family okay? Oh, they're all at peace. It's like, fuck you. It's like it's the worst kind of newsbringer that you could have in a section like this. I wonder how this. I mean, maybe it's played as high melodrama on the stage. I don't know, or maybe they just really chop it down as much as they can. That's what I have today. All right, Shakespeare.